Greetings. Hey, how's everybody doing? So, I know this. You were probably expecting this rather recently. Um, so yeah, Doctor Who has series 14, 15 has just ended, which was basically just season 2 of Gat was run as the character. Um, so what we're gonna do here is I'm going to give my whole um thoughts on the entire series 15 and all that, how I feel about it. Before I get into that, I have a question for you, though. We are? For you. So, whole plot of the entire of this season, was the Doctor end up meeting, a new companion. In this case, the character of Belinda, and in a way, say, okay, she ends up getting taken by robots, so he is trying to feel like, okay, I need to get you back home. And that is the journey of this season, to try to get her back home. Anyway, this season only had eight episodes. And you start off with the Christmas special, which was Joy to the World. How he was doing after he had left the character of Ruby. The one thing that I'm gonna say that I thought it is a bit confusing on how they did this, is in that it seems like the character, this this version of the Doctor, is very much bisexual or gay coded. In that, yeah, it seems like, say, okay, he is always a bit more fabulous, and that's okay. I mean, this is coming from a trans person saying this stuff. So yeah, I gotta say, at times, say the fact that, okay, that little aspect of it would be kind of a bit say, okay, we are flip flopping a bit of it. The one thing I didn't really think about, though, as after this season had ended, though, was in that some things I thought, okay, this is kind of strange. In that, yes, the Doctor ends up, trying to, really make sure, okay, Belinda, she is, she understands, she's trying to make sure, okay, she is safe, she is, not harmed in a way. The one thing that made me think, okay, was in that it seemed like there are moments, say, okay, things would be going a bit more romantic, and think about this, yeah, he was trying to get her home and all that, especially in the final episode. I did find it kind of strange. Yes, Connor basically creates a wish in which they become a couple and such. The thing that made me think, okay, so they have a daughter named Poppy, and in a way, what they do is Poppy is going to become she is going to they're going to try and make sure, okay, we're going to make sure she is protected and all that. One of the issues I did have, looking back at the finale, is in that, say, okay, basically, this season, in a way, especially the final episode, it relied a lot on the use of just creatures, which are awesome, but at the same time, turning Omega just into spooky giant skeleton man.
Become the god of time, with Time Lords to feast upon.
Well, I think you'll find.
And all that. Say some episodes that I thought were highlights of this season, though, was I really liked the character of the episode Lux, in which, they are stuck in the 1950s, and, they are, in an abandoned cinema, in which the character of Mr. Ringading, that was pretty cool. I thought that one was really good. I like say some of like, the fourth wall breakingness of that episode.
I get so scared being with you, Doctor. Your life was terrifying. I don't think you'll ever get me home. What just happened?
You were sad, and you became more three-dimensional. Oh, that's it! You acquired depth!
The whale was, I thought that one was really good too. In which, like, say, the Doctor returns to the planet of, Midnight, in a way in which they discover a creature who is, attached to a woman behind her. I did find it kind of a bit much in the fact that, okay, Lucky Day, I liked the ideas when they were going for it. Like saying the fact, okay, yes, this is a Dr. Light episode, but at the same time, I'm gonna say, okay, yeah, they probably needed this episode, to help, develop what will be coming into the final episode with the character of Conrad.
Go to hell.
But at the same time, it does kind of sadden because it seemed like compared to Ruby, and I found Ruby, I like the character Ruby. Thing about it as I don't think that, like, they were able to fully flesh out the character of Belinda. I don't think they were able to give her, things to make her her own character. I did think the story and the engine in which, the Doctor is at a barber shop, and then, the barber is wanting, using stories to, create, basically, help his ship in a way. And we also had the return of the fugitive Doctor and all that. I'll be honest and say the one thing I wish they could have done with this season, they did sort of do it in with the episode Lux, is I do wish that there had been more episodes in which, like, previously they had, like, Dot and Bubble, in which, the Doctor ends up, bumping into, racism. I do wish they could have done, that idea, a little bit more of that idea. Yes, say they have done episodes involving that in the past. I feel like it would have been as well as surprising if they had done more episodes of him having to deal with, not a protagonist, but a character that, we could say a side character that is like that, who is. It makes me, I don't really know how I'm going to feel about this in the future, though, is, okay, we are going to have, in the Funks, the next time the show returns is we're going to have the character of, we're going to have, Billie Piper as the Doctor. And I did say this in that review of, say, okay, maybe this could work, but they would really have to try to explain it fairly well, in that, yes, previously they had, when they had Peter Capaldi, yes, he was in an episode of the show, but then, what you're doing now is you're gonna have a actor who had been, a companion for a big majority of a few seasons. So, I'm fairly interested in what they're gonna try to do. And I did kind of like the fact that, okay, they had some characters return, in the finale, say, Anita and all that. There are some highlights of the season. But this is how I feel about it. What was your whole entire thoughts on this season?